Hello, and thank you for attending. Today we're going to talk to you about the VMware Center for Advanced Learning Advanced Architecture course. But first, before we get into that, I'll give you a little bit of background about us. My name is Daemon Behr. I'm a Senior Solutions Architect for Scalar Decisions. I'm a vExpert for 4 years and a vExpert NSX for 2008. I'm based out of Canada, and I work for a company called Scalar Decisions. I'm also vMUG leader for Toronto. And
so I'm Jonathan Copeland. I'm also a Senior Solution Architect. I work for Connection IT, and I'm based out of the San Antonio area. I've been a VMware vExpert for the last 7 years and a vExpert for NSX for the last 3 years. And so I cover a number of various areas, including all about the data center.
Great. So the first thing we can talk about is the Advanced Architecture course and what it is. It was created as an initiative by VMware to create a standard process and methodology that can be used by both VMware internal staff as well as partners, so that we have a consistent approach when dealing with customers, that we can translate business problems into actual solutions. Now, this consisted of a 2-week intensive course, and when I say intensive, I mean it was really intensive. It was 12-hour days where we would do a full day in class and sessions, and then after that we would do some work in the evenings as well over dinner. We did this over the course of 2 weeks. So just to give you an idea of the people that went down there, were senior architects from various partners around the world, as well as senior architects within VMware from all different business units. So we had people that came in from overseas, from Saudi Arabia, from
everywhere but
Asia.
APJ.
Yeah, all over the place. So some of the things that we did over there is we did a deep dive into the entire portfolio of SDDC, EUC, PKS, everything you can imagine, everything that VMware does, we dove into it. And we had the product owners and the lead engineers from each one of these different business units that came and actually talked about it. And they talked about things that you don't normally see in marketing or regular education classes. So it was really great to get access to this top level tier of people. We also did some live fire training, and one thing that we did, which was really good, is we went through a process of mapping out business problems over to actual solutions that we can employ. And the method that this is the method that we use. First, defining the business problem, determining what that business problem is in terms of an IT problem, then figuring out what IT capability is needed to overcome these issues, then come with a business outcome. The key thing about this is that product was not the main thing. So it's not like we had a solution and we were trying to find a problem. It was understanding the overall business problem and then turning that into a solution. Then whatever came out in the end is what was the best fit for the customer. So there was 3 pillars of business relationship from IT to business. First, there's the infrastructure provider, where you drive efficiencies, reduce CapEx. And then there's a business partner, where you accelerate growth and start working a lot closer with the business. And then once you reach a certain level, then you can support a digital enterprise, where you can create new business models and really do things that are groundbreaking. Now, some important things about this is that in order to reach the next level of business partnership, you need to ensure that certain dependencies are met. And I'll talk about these over here before I go to that. So, as you increase the capabilities of each one of these pillars, where there's an infrastructure provider, a business partner, a digital enterprise, you need to meet a certain amount of prerequisites. So for instance, with the infrastructure provider, first you need to ensure that you have virtualized everything. Then you've created a private cloud environment. Once you hit that level, then you can provide infrastructure as a service. But if you haven't reached a certain level of maturity as an infrastructure provider, you cannot advance to that next level of business partner or to support digital enterprise. One of the big issues that the companies have is they have a great vision of what they want to do with their business, but they haven't gone through this dependency mapping process, so there's no way that they'd be able to achieve their vision. So through the Advanced Architecture course, it really helped us map out how to get from the business problem, mapping out the dependencies over to the actual business solution.
And one of the interesting things when you're talking about this, because we weren't talking about product within this, it allowed us to really talk about those capabilities and maturity within each of those pieces of the business, and not focus upon how does this product deliver it, which allowed us to focus on what is the best of breed within each one of those and bring that in. So if you were missing a specific area, you could go deeper into that and mature that and then move on, because each of our businesses need to move to a certain digital economy. We know that no matter if we're a manufacturing business or anything, but we had to get to a certain level to be able to deliver that. And so this helps us map that out.
And one of the great things about mapping this out when you're working with clients is that it allows you to build a long-term roadmap, so that you can say that in order to achieve these capabilities, these are the things that you need to do within your organization. These are the technologies that you need to be comfortable with, and have the support infrastructure for that.
And on the bottom there, you notice that it's actually got several things that are underpinnings. So there's some foundational levels that go all the way across that you must have. So you must be able to support your end users with the consumer side of things, whether they're internal users or external users, but you also have to make sure that all of that has security baked in. And so we've seen that within the VMworld conference this week, how they're saying security is intrinsic. This was actually well before that. We've been talking about that. Even without a solution or without a product there, this is focused on security at the base.
So taking this back over to our internal companies and working with customers, some of the things that the customers are saying once we take this approach are that they've never looked at IT this way before, or they can't believe that we've actually come up with a strategy and solution without leading first with a product. So it's really changed the way that we've approached our dealings with customers, and the way that customers are able to achieve their solution goals. So Jonathan, maybe you can talk about...
Yeah, so recently, just less than a month ago, I actually went to a customer. We've delivered this a couple of times now, who sat with a customer for about 4 hours, no charge for the customer, because it's a VMware program that we're doing. We go in, we ask for two things. We ask for two groups. The IT group, some IT managers, with some of their teams. We develop a list of what their IT problems are, and a list about their IT outcomes or projects that they want to do. We then rank those. It's very interesting. You think about, well, we've already got a ranking, but maybe there's not really a true consensus within your team. So we do a blind voting method within our organization to do this, allowing each team member to vote without their influence of others and without influence of their manager, which is very important, because sometimes we form opinions based upon what others do too. And so by doing this, we actually re-rank that and show what the top of mind thought is. After that, we've had this situation where we go in and we bring the C-level executives in, and they list us and give us a list of their business outcomes and business objectives for the organization as a whole. We rank those and break those down into two things. Is this project or outcome a revenue generating project, or is it a cost avoidance project? Those are the two R's that you want to focus on, because almost everything can be broken down to one of those two. After that, we can map those back to the various IT projects. By doing so, we allow the IT organization to see what is this project and why is it such a focus by the organization? Why am I getting pressure to do this? It may seem logical to many of us, but many in IT don't understand how that maps up to the business. And then when we do that, we show them that this project is generating revenue, this one may be doing cost avoidance, and then we do another vote round. What are the most important based upon cost avoidance or revenue generation? And if we think cost avoidance might be the most important, realistically it's not. If you talk to a business individual, revenue generation is the key to survival in any business. And so we focus and help re-rank those IT projects that we did at the very beginning back to which ones primarily support revenue generation, and then later down in the line we put down the cost avoidance ones. After that, we follow up with a follow-up round and re-rank them based upon what might have to come first. Because we know there are certain things that have to be done in order to do follow-on projects. So we might change the order slightly based upon those foundational or prerequisite projects. What this does is it provides a roadmap to your internal IT organization and to your business organization, saying these are the things we're going to do, a timeline we're going to do them in, and how they're going to support the organization. And it fosters communication between both sides, because sometimes, realistically, neither one communicates their goals very well.
Yeah, one of the main reasons why projects or initiatives fail is because you don't have alignment between IT and the various business units, as well as overall management. If you have alignment between them, then there's a good chance that you're going to have the funding, the buy-in, and the success of the project. However, if you have one area that wants to do revenue generation, the other one that wants to do cost avoidance, then you're going to have a battle, and you're going to have a failed initiative.
Yeah, and one of the things that really came out of the CAL-AAC course was involved with this was refocusing on when we deliver projects and project presentations as IT and as architects, not to focus so much on the features or the items that we're doing, but to really focus upon how the business value is being delivered within that. It's a change of mindset for all of us as IT folks. We have to think business first, IT second, because feeds, speeds, features, widgets are cool, but really we're getting paid because of the other.
Yeah. Now, this is just a brief intro to the AAC, but if you want to follow up a little bit more in depth, there's actually another session that's going to be happening tomorrow with TJ Vatsa at 10:45 a.m. So I strongly encourage you to go over there. He was one of the main
he's a principal consulting architect for VMware. So TJ and Mitesh Panacholi are two of the two that led the discussion within this. And this is really how VMware is doing this themselves within their own organization.
Yeah.
So questions, comments, thoughts? Is this something new to everybody? Should it be something we are all involved in? You have to have a certain depth of knowledge. So they were inviting folks who have a certain level of depth. You may have to have VCP or better in some of these, not all. For instance, in my team, we had some that were end user compute specialists and some that were NSX. Other teams were cloud heavy.
Yep.
So it does not that you have to have a specific, and the nice thing is when we're doing this, we actually delivered a presentation as a project together as a team, and so you see how team dynamics work on that too. So that really helps you see when you come in as a consultant, or you're coming in and bringing in other pieces of your own organization as a team to be able to develop that teamwork very quickly.
Yeah, and another thing about the presentation that we did for the executives down there, because we had a number of VMware execs that actually came in to watch our presentations, which was a little bit nerve-wracking, but it was also exciting as well. Is that we had a certain area of focus that we did based on the skill sets of our team. However, we had to map out work streams and phases for all the different parts of a large-scale comprehensive solution, so that we could associate estimated timelines and a level of effort and work with those, but we would drill into a specific area and then really map out the detailed design solution for that.
Yeah, and it was interesting talking with the teams after. Some really focused on how to do architecture as architecture, and so we might get into this discussion. Are you trying to do this VCDX style architecture, or are you trying to do a business architecture? And sometimes we're really needing to put on more of a business hat. That's really what this course is helping us focus on. And what this other thing that VMware actually said is that it's interesting that they found that customers have bought product and have never delivered product that they bought into their own organizations because they did not have a true solution for it. This is what this is really to help us do, and finally and finish up and do that, get those things implemented to support the business.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any other questions?
I think it happens every quarter.
Well, I have an update.
Oh, do you? Okay.
I have an update. Yesterday in one of the courses that TJ was actually talking about, and this is going all the way up to Pat Gelsinger. So they have refunded this with additional dollars for partners to be able to be in this. I think they said they have an additional $1 million, and they're going to start delivering this every month to partners and others. It has been every quarter, but they're going to be pushing this out even further, including shadowing for those people who actually go through the course. We've actually been involved in it and continuing to have communication through the Microsoft Teams Workspace with the VMware teams that we were working with. So that's very nice. Yeah. It felt like we're actually somewhat connected at the hip with VMware.
How many people do you think we had over there? It was like 40 or so?
I think the count in our class was 26. It was 15 PSO and 11 partners. Thank y'all. We appreciate it.
Yeah. If you want to follow up with us,